Back when dinosaurs roamed the earth and I actually lived close enough to a Costco, my mom used to shop there a lot. It was one of the American ways that we discovered. And one of the most beautiful parts of Costco to me were the CD-ROMs. There was just like these giant tables with CD-ROMs laid out, and you could touch them. You could like actually touch them. So same with like some of the games, you could like physically pick them up and look at them, which was a huge change from when I'd go to Target and I would just like and wish I could perchance smell one of these games. But you could actually touch them, and that, meant I was slightly closer to buying them. And one of the few games that my mom would actually buy for us was Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing. Now, despite finding out the tragedy that Mavis Beacon is not a real person, I had so much fun playing those games. Is it considered playing? And I feel like I was chasing that high ever since. I would Google like typing games or learn to type games, but nothing came close to Mavis Beacon, because Mavis Beacon could keep up with me. And these typing games they were boring, and they didn't have that maternal feeling that she gave me. But that's part of why I got into mechanical keyboards, is that love of typing. And what I ended up settling on eventually was just going on to Monkey Type when I'm bored and trying that out. Entertainment is also another cool one where you get to type public domain novels and stuff, so you can read while you type. But that high, I'm your cool Uncle Marissa, and I finally found that high again. And it was in my spam, of all places, not the food, the folder in my email. I do check my spam often because a lot of things get misguided there, and that's actually where I find a lot of those, you were part of a class action lawsuit, so we sent you a $5 Visa gift card, so check your spam. But I found a Steam key / try it out, make a video if you want to, from a studio called Squeaky Wheel Studios for a game called Glyphica. That's right, this is a game review. Now, the devs describe it in the subject line as the lo-fi roguelite typing experience you've been looking for. I don't think they said you've been looking for, but I just assume we're all looking for that. And on the Steam page, it also says it's Vampire Survivors meets Monkey Type. And having seen like kind of the footage included and stuff, I was like, this actually looks really cool. And I've never played Vampire Survivors, but I've played similar games like 20 Minutes Till Dawn, and I am obsessed with Core Fault on the Playdate, which is very similar genre, the same genre. And I'm like, that, but typing? Let's give it a go. So there is a trials mode and an endless mode. Let's try endless. And in this update, we can only access the repeater and heat ray. And so it looks like there's going to be something called modifiers and augmentation coming in the final release, so that's really exciting. But yeah, let's go. One thing that's really cool is how like the text changes on the enemies. And also I appreciate that like when you start typing, if you're typing letters that are in multiple ones, it will cover both until you finish the word. But you can see it starts off really easy, to be honest. Not a lot coming at you, and they're all kind of one-shot enemies. So let's fast forward a bit to when things get a bit more complicated. So here we are at level 10. And so you can see like the factory one, that's got armor over it, it's got a shield. And so it takes two different types. Oh, and then you can like type to get loot and stuff, which is pretty cool. You see the one that says late, like that one's bigger, and the bigger they are, the more types it takes to get them out. Let's rush to the last level I got to in this playthrough so that we can take a look at the trials after this. Okay, so yeah, spoiler alert, level 16 was the last I got to in the endless mode, and you've got so many more variety when it comes to the enemies. It takes a lot more shots, a lot more words typed to get rid of them. And I think like around maybe a couple of levels before this is when it even occurred to me really of like, oh yeah, I should actually care about what weapons I use. It's not just like type real fast. So I think that's cool that you have to balance the two. It's not just a type real fast game, because when that's the thing, then it's like, oh, your words per minute is just kind of all you've got going for you. But having that element of trying to build like the right weapons and choose the right upgrades and stuff to make sure you can get through faster is really very good. It's just like a very well designed game, very fun. Yeah, let's move on to the trials. Oh wait, though, like on the bottom left you see like there are a couple where like you don't see the text until you start typing. That's also very neat. Oh, I guess I got to level 17. Trials like opens up kind of the same essentially as Endless, and it's very similar in that you've got a similar evolution of upgrades and of weapons and stuff, and you've got a very similar progression of enemies as well. However, now you have bosses as well. So you see I'm on level 5 right now, and it says at the top when the boss is incoming, and the boss was actually like what really caught me out in this game. And it wasn't even because it's hard, but it is because you've got to juggle the boss as well as the incoming attacks from these little guys. So, you know, they don't like pause. They don't pause for you to fight the boss. But let's just fast forward to the boss and see what gave me kind of a little bit of a shock. So you see, you're actually like typing out a full-on sentence. It's got context, it's not random. So I'm really curious if there is a story in all of this, because that is very cool. And so I was also trying to pay attention to what I was type/reading. But kind of what threw me off is you don't actually type any punctuation. No spaces, no periods or commas or anything. And so seeing the periods and commas and spaces on the screen and not typing them really messed with my mind. But this is the second time I'm doing it, and like I kind of have a better hang of it, but still not there. Glyphica is out on Steam right now, and the retail price is a whopping $9.99. That's nothing. Totally worth the experience. And if you love clicking and clacking at your keyboard, this is honestly perfect for you. And it's also very humbling because, you know, I was like, I'm doing it. I'm getting all of these like perfect like multipliers. And then you get to like the boss and it's like, do I know how to type? And so I think it's definitely one of those things that is going to be very addictive and very much something I'm going to boot up in my downtime. It's clear that a lot of things are not yet unlocked in the version that I had, the review version. So it's going to be very exciting to see all of the like enhancements and stuff that you can do with your weapons, and if things like end up stacking the way they do in like a game like Core Fault, where, you know, you upgrade things and you get to start the level with that upgraded thing. But I feel like I was so focused on typing as well that I was like not even paying attention to what my weapons were doing. I know this was a really short video and my first game review, so I appreciate you watching it. Let me know in the comments if you will check out Glyphica. If you know any typing games that are similar, did you also have a parasocial relationship with Mavis Beacon? I would very much love to know. I would hope that I'm not the only one. As always, a big thank you to my Ko-fi subscribers and people who donate to my Ko-fi. That's really very helpful for me to stay motivated and stay, fed enough to keep doing this. Also, did you notice that my banner has changed? Did you notice the little watermark down there? That is all thanks to one of my Discord members, Yiefe? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but I really appreciate it. They just kind of out of the blue were like, I made this. And I was like, this looks great. Can I use it? So here it is. Huge thank you for that. It means a lot that you would think of me and also just come up with something that's so perfectly in line with this channel's aesthetic. All that being said, I hope you will check out Glyphica, and I hope you do better than I do with the boss. And don't forget that you are always welcome at Cool Uncle's house, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.